Hey folks, this is Joshua Vanderkar with Typewheel and a Plugin Pub, and I came across this plugin today from 10 Up Simple Podcasting. Podcasting is something that I have thought about getting into in the past, and my wife has thought the same, but we've never made that leap. Um, Done a lot of listening, but have never published anything. So this was inspiration to see what that process looks like. So I started digging in today and wanted to walk you through this plugin and see about getting some first podcasts up. So I'm looking to just get like a micro podcast up. I came across some audio files that I thought might be fun to share. So um, yeah, so here's the plugin page on WordPress directory, and I've set up a site here and I've downloaded and installed the plugin. Once you do that, you go to this podcasts page and you can add any number of podcasts, and then you can assign episodes to those podcasts. And so I have filled in all the information here already. Podcast titled Growing Childlike, and sorry, I was interrupted by a message coming through there, and have a slug for it. Podcast subtitle, who is publishing this, summary of what's happening, copyright info, whether it's explicit content, set a podcast image. I've uploaded that here already. Shows you the size limitations that are required for that. Keywords, categories to set up, and page header. I think this is coming in from my theme, so probably ignore that. Doesn't look like the image went in there, but we'll see. Alright, so it looks like it has created that, Growing Childlike. It's given me a feed URL. This is what I'll use once I get into connecting with Apple. I'm going to click in here and see if that image made it through. It looks like maybe it didn't. It appears that maybe it's not wanting to grab that image. Let's see, minimum size 1400, maximum 2048. I'm at 1800, so I think we should be good. Well, we'll see. Let's go ahead and I'm going to jump there and see if it. Not sure if it's got give me that image through here. Okay. Might have to tweak with that a bit. So once I've done that, then I can create a new post, and I have actually created a custom post type here for episodes, so I can assign these to a podcast. This first one we're going to title I think this is the title that we've got for this one. Got my content here, and then of course you can see I'm doing this in Gutenberg, so they have integrated with that. They have a podcast block, so I will add a podcast in here. I'm going to upload, and actually I already have it uploaded to my media library, so we're going to grab that one. Check the length is 106. Looks like it auto-fills that in. No closed captioning. It is not explicit content. So that should be good. And let's see what else we got here. I'm going to set a featured image. Actually, I'm going to use a drop it plugin to pull something here. Let's see. Also want yeah, that's what I was looking for. Upload that. And actually I'm not gonna have it in my post, but I do want it as, where we got this, I do want it as a featured image. I think I have to reload this for that to show up. Save that, reload. There we go. Alright, and I'm going to publish this. Yes. Okay, so it is live. I'm going to go ahead and view that on the front end. Make sure, looks like we've got things there. Let me get rid of that. Probably fine to do. Alright. There we go. Okay, so next thing is I think I need to somehow assign that to that specific podcast as well. Once at least one podcast exists, you can add episodes by creating a post, assigning it to the appropriate podcast, and inserting an audio player or block into the content of the post. So in order to assign it to this, that I'm not sure how I need to do. Okay, so I was able to get that sorted. For some reason, the taxonomy boxes in Gutenberg weren't showing up either on the post or on my custom post type, so that was a little odd. And I did realize that I also had to register the podcast taxonomy for my custom post type, so I got that in here. And now I can see whatever podcast I'd be able to assign this to a specific podcast. So we're going to do that and update. And now I should have it. If I go, let's go back to our podcasts, and yeah, it looks like I have one now that it shows there. I would expect if I go to this feed now, I will see it pull that in. Maybe. Let's update this. Yeah, so it looks like things are in place now. It did come through on the feed. So we can see that that is listed there. And I wasn't able to get this image, but I went and manually added the data to the database, so that is showing up here now as well. So now that I have all of that in place, I should be able to grab this feed and pull this over into iTunes Connect. So this is my first time logging in here. I set up an account, signed in with my Apple ID, had to sign off on a few privacy things and read through their terms. And it looks like I am able to set up a first feed, so we're going to add this URL. It has been generated from my site. Let's go ahead and validate it. It's going to go and check that everything is in order on the site. And it looks like I have a few things that I need to give some attention to, but it did pull a lot of this information, so I'm going to take note of these. It says I can't download episodes, can't submit the feed. So there's no category tag, or the category tag is empty. So I will investigate those. Not sure if it'll be something on my end or on the plugins end. It's very new as it came out today, so there might be some bugs that are being worked out. I'm going to pause this and check into that a bit. So I was able to fix some of the errors. I realized that there was a bug in how the categories were saved into the database, and so I rewrote those in the database, and that solved the category issue, but still having this not able to download the episodes from the feed. I did find this nice feed validator, podcast validator, that runs through and checks how things are working, and I noticed that my cover art was a little bit off, so I fixed that. And this byte range support needed to be enabled on my server as well, which I'm going to try and stick the files on DigitalOcean space and see if that resolves things, but for the moment I am at a standstill. So I'm going to sign off here, and hopefully you get a chance to check this out. If you're into podcasting, it seems like it's a pretty cool tool to use. So thanks for watching along, and yeah, you have a great day.